Hello, and this is a presentation of the Addy and Kemp Instructional Design Model Comparison for 632160, Fall 2012. Our presentation will include an explanation of the Addy and Kemp models, followed by instruction using the two instructional design models, and a brief conclusion of our presentation. The Addy model is a popular instructional design model that has a step-by-step process that helps create effective instruction. Almost all instructional design models contain core elements of the Addy. The Addy has become a popular term used to describe a systematic approach to instructional design. The Addy model revolves around the five following components: analyze, design, development, implement, and evaluate. The analysis phase is the first phase of the Addy model, and during this time, the instructional designer will conduct a needs assessment, identify the learning problem, define the goals and/or objectives, and identify and analyze the targeted audience. The second phase is the design phase, and during this time, the instructional designer will identify resources, select the delivery format, and select the activities so that the learner can meet the objectives. The next step is the development phase, and during this phase, the instructional designer will create content and learning materials as described in the design phase, and also test content with members from the targeted audience. During the implement phase, the content materials will be distributed to the intended learners, and the instructional designer will evaluate the effectiveness of the materials. The evaluation phase includes formative evaluations that should be throughout the entire process, summative evaluations that should test the overall effectiveness, and revisions that should be made throughout the entire process. The KIM model is an instructional design model that focuses on curriculum development. The KIM model has 9 key elements that are a continuous cycle. The KIM model is a flexible instructional design model that allows the user to create the best design method to meet the objectives. The KIM model is considered nonlinear, and the user may start with the element they prefer and can complete the design process in no set order. The nonlinear approach is a distinct feature that sets this model apart from other instructional design models. Again, an instructional designer can begin with any element. I will begin with instructional problems. At this time, the instructional designer will identify instructional problems and identify objectives. Another element is the learner characteristics. This is where the instructional designer will identify characteristics that are important for instruction. During the task analysis, the instructional designer will identify content and analyze task components related to objectives. During the instructional objective stage, the instructional designer will state the objectives for the learner. During the content sequencing stage, the instructional designer will organize content in each instructional unit in a logical manner. The instructional strategies phase is where the instructional designer will design strategies so that the learner can meet objectives. During the designing the message phase, the instructional designer will plan how the instruction will be delivered to the learner. During the development of evaluation, the instructional designer will develop evaluation materials to assess if the learner has met the objectives. During the select the resources phase, the instructional designer will select resources that will support instruction and the learning activities. The instructional problem that our group wanted to solve using the Addy and Kemp model was a class of 5th grade students that needed to learn how to use the Discovery Education website to access multimedia for school projects. The sample instruction using the Addy model looks as follows. During the analysis phase of the Addy model, the instructional problem is identified, and the instructional problem in the sample instruction is that the students need to know how to add multimedia to class projects. There are 30 5th grade students, 52% are female, and 48% are male. During the design phase, the multimedia module will be developed and uploaded on the Classroom Wiki. During the development phase, the content for training is developed and the module will be created using Camtasia, Microsoft PowerPoint, and visuals from the Discovery Education website. During the implementation phase, the instructional unit will be delivered and the assessments will be administered. During the evaluation phase, feedback from the targeted audience will be received and revisions will be made. This is the sample instruction using the Kemp model. The instructional problems phase includes the objective, which is the fifth grade teacher wants the students to add multimedia to a class project. The learner characteristics are 30 fifth grade students, 52% of them are female and 48% of them are male. The task analysis identifies that the students will learn how to create and use multimedia. The instructional objective for this instruction is that the students will be able to attach multimedia from the Discovery Education website to their presentations. The content will be sequenced in the following 4 steps. Step 1. The students will log in. Step 2. The students will use the search engine. Step 3. The students will find appropriate multimedia. And Step 4. The students will attach the multimedia. The instructional strategy used during instruction is differentiating material so that all students will be successful. During the designing the message process, the designers decided that the instruction will be delivered through a Microsoft PowerPoint tutorial and the Discovery Education website. During the development of instruction, the teacher will use a projector to give students a live view of the website. This is where the instructional designer will select resources that will be needed to implement instruction. The resources include Discovery Education and Microsoft PowerPoint. In conclusion, the ADDIE model is a popular, simple, 5-step linear model that can be used in a variety of settings. The Kemp model is a flexible model that contains 9 elements that is used mostly to design curriculum. Either model can help design quality instruction to ensure the learner meets the goals of the instruction.